and welcome to Slade on Slade. This is my wife, Leslie. I am Keith, and today we're going to be talking about
villain tropes.
I'm the author of the upcoming book, The House of Ribbons, due out in sometime mid-2021, and the sequel to it is currently at the editors right now, a few months ahead of schedule, and it's good stuff, you know?
Yep. So today we are going to do the top 10 villain tropes.
Number 10! Is that how that works? No. I don't even show up to the meetings of these things. This is just my wife saying some shit from the other room, and I'm just like trying to write out some stuff. Maybe I'm leaving a nasty comment for a friend on Facebook. I'm like, hey, dildo, you spelled it wrong. Because sometimes I'm that guy. And then she called out something. I go, yeah, villain tropes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first one I have is the whodunit trope one.
Ah, yeah, that's the secret villain. The villain you didn't know.
Yes.
It was a shapeshifter all the time, and she took the form of a toilet, reached up and yanked its balls clean off. Oh, what a twist. Ooh, that could have been in the twist video. You remember the video that you saw that you most likely saw this as you're watching the video but didn't see that video? Go look at the twist video. I'm just a nut in the entire video.
Then you also have the betrayal villain.
Yeah. 25 years later, pick a finger. Any finger. I'm still pissed off. It's 25 years later. Fuck you for what you did. You know who did it. I know you watch these videos because you fucking write me in my emails. So this time you know for a fact I'm talking about you. First letter with a G. Maybe that was too much. Was that too much? I'm still pissed off though, 25 years later.
Then you have the monster mash villain.
He did the mash. He did the monster mash. I don't know the whole song. I don't know.
Every time you say do that, I remember the little...
Yeah, we got a little animatronic toy and it sings, it was a graveyard smash.
So this is normally a monster is the villain on that one.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
And then you have sick burns, which is the villain that gives a sick burn at the end when...
He's choking the villain to death and he like, ha ha ha, you're gonna go down, you know? And then the villain goes, that's what your mom said. And you're like, you bitch! And you gotta poke his eye out.
And then you have your religious basket case.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, first off, right off the bat, the best religious basket case in a movie is the movie The Mist. And there's a woman in it. And if you've never seen The Mist, stop this video, go watch that movie. It's a Stephen King short story turned into what I thought was a really good, one of the best endings I've ever seen in a movie. Man, that was just, Thomas Jane just gives it. He gives it in that movie. But she is a religious nut, and she causes people to die. Mm-hmm. So you got to be careful, man. The religious nuts are fucking, ugh.
And then you have the privileged villain, which is the villain that has the money.
Yeah.
The one that is
Mommy and Daddy bought GameStop stocks, and I've got all this money now. Mm-hmm. See that? See, when you're watching that will be relatively relevant.
Then you also have the WTF.
Yeah, that's a villain that you didn't even know. You're like, wait, that was the villain all along? Dun, dun, dun!
Mm-hmm. The surprise.
Yeah, I got a surprise villain in there.
And then you got the final boss villain.
Yeah, it's got a big old health bar. Fight, finish him. You can't tell by looking at my wife. My wife is kind of a big Xbox player. Me, I've given up. When I write, I don't watch very many movies, TV shows, and I don't play video games at all. I dedicate all my extra time to trying not to let my head explode because my son is currently in the He screams all the time now. He's very close to using he's got some words, but when he wants something, he just goes, and I'm like, oh, my head is going to fucking explode.
So this is the final boss where you defeat the big bad boss type person.
Some people would call that the climactic battle.
There you go. Thank you. Very
I call it the climax battle. It's done.
And then you also have the unrequited hatred villain.
Oh, yeah. With the villain. He was like, oh, shit. You hated me this whole time? I was oblivious to it.
I was oblivious to who you are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't even know you were coming for me this whole time. Welcome to my castle. And please step, 3 feet to the front. 3 feet over to the left and just fall directly into that trap. And I'm literally not going to give a shit because I don't know who you are.
Yep. Can you think of any other villains?
Oh, not really. This is kind of a thrown together. I mean, I don't think all villains fit into that. Because I think sometimes you can turn a person into a villain. And to circle around to 25 years before, yeah, she's not a villain in my life, okay? But what she did was villainous. Enough for me 25 years later to still be pissed off about it, okay? But she doesn't see herself as a villain. She sees me as an obstinate asshole who's like, why can't you just get over it? I can't. You fucked up. But then you got, I don't know.
There are many other villains out there. It's just...
Yeah, it's hard to explain it without talking about the book, but I can't give the book away until it comes out because I'm super not into spoilers.
I know.
But yeah, one of the villains in it, he's one of those guys who, like, I didn't really care that you saw me as a villain because I can do whatever I want.
Yep. So, here's my question for you. What is your favorite type of villain?
Oh, man, I'm just like a straight up bad guy. Bust in your house, kill your wife and kids, make you watch, kind of wound you, but keep you tied up enough, and then kind of humiliate you by, like, pissing on your face. And I'm not even joking when I say that. And then you spend the rest of the movie or book watching this guy crawl through a river of bullshit to get to this one guy who just ultimately, like, dude, that's just my hobby. Okay, I don't even know why you're upset about it. I killed like 100 other families. I like one of those villains who literally doesn't give a fuck. You know, taunts the police. Yeah, I like that. I like one of those, you know, and I don't always like it when the good guy wins. Sometimes I like a really bleak ending. It's like one of those things where you're like, ha 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 ha,
yeah.
You know?
So my favorite type of villain would be the, what the fuck villains.
Yeah, you like that surprise stuff, huh?
I do. I like the kind of the mystery kind of type stuff, but I also like to kind of figure it out type of thing.
You know what? There's another type of villain I like. I like the villain who accidentally takes it too far and causes someone he didn't want to hate him. You know, like maybe in his own group or something like that, and be like, "Oh man, I fucked up. I took it too far." Then he tries to redeem himself. So you don't like it when I do it, but you know, like I got a villain in my book. He's a bad guy, but he's really not a bad guy. He's one of those people that I want you to feel sympathetic for because, yeah, I know. Yeah, roll your eyes. He was put in a shitty situation. He became a bad guy because he's trying to do something. What would you do to bring back the love of your life? That's the real question I have for you. Would you murder 100 babies? If you could get away with murdering 100 babies to bring back the love of your life, you've been together 5 years, 5 minutes, 500 years, I don't know, okay? What would you really do? Because most people, when you're faced with a finality of death, would do unspeakable amounts of bullshit to get that person back. But then what happens when you get that person back and they found out you did an unspeakable amount of bullshit to get it back? So therefore, the villain is not doing villainous stuff. Everybody else sees it as a villain, okay? And then you get your loved one back into your arms and she's like, I just can't be with you. So he faces a finality of it twice. Will he snap? Will he just go off and accept his fate? Who knows? That's a villain that I wrote, and I like that. I want people to sympathize with the bad guy sometimes. I want you to be like, yeah, I want to be that bad guy. You ever see The Boys? Homelander? He's like the anti-Superman. He's got all the powers of Superman. He's just a total dick to everybody. If you had laser beams that shoot out your eyes, I guarantee 5 people watching this videos would have a couple of people dead if you could get away with it. Why? Because you're a villain? No, because it's human nature. And I like to write human nature as much as possible.
So, with that being said, that is all we have today.
That
is all we have for you today. So if you like our content, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button below.
Somewhere down here.
And if you want to learn more updates on the book or find out the next videos we are doing, go ahead and like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and MeWe.
Wee.
MeWe.
Sounds like something was like a fucking toddler page, you know?
I know.
Please come and like my video I made on TikTok.
So that is all we have for you today. So we
Bye.
see ya.